Okay, I have it recorded.
All right, I'm here. So, what I'm going to talk about really quick is the game plan for what the channel is going to pretty much be, like what direction it's going for. And originally, as you probably saw in the screenshot too, you could tell the channel was going to be a gaming channel, but it got scrapped and pushed to the side. And it also had a few re-uploads put on there. However, I want to rebrand the channel stuff, which I have done recently. I've changed from That One Pony to Miss Claire Rabbit on my main channel. And I'm thinking about keeping the second channel the same name. Um, so that way that one pony still does exist for the brony part of my channel, because it's a little bit mixed of everything almost, but that's kind of the point of the second channel and why it would be called Those One Ponies.
Mm,
Um, and I wanted to share the channel, and obviously I said this earlier too. I don't want to share the channel with Max at the moment because of the whole account ban thing that is a kind of not a no-go. I don't want to do that with him ever again
yeah,
because he pretty much
understandable.
did that. But, I still have faith, obviously, in other people. I'm not like, "Oh, okay, I gotta stop giving away my accounts." It's not that big of a deal if an account gets destroyed, as long as there's backup files, which I now do have for the Ponytown stuff. That's the only thing I didn't have was backup, files for that.
Yeah.
But either way, I made the characters, so they're still easy to make. For the most part, maybe it's not exactly the same, but it's close enough. And for the channel, it's what I want it to be is a shared channel for my original concept I had with Cory a while ago. Now, originally that concept was just a relationship channel type thing for me and Cory. However, as of right now, a lot of stuff has been going on. I did form the crew for from the whole Sonic server and starting up this server.
Mhm.
So I just call it the crew because that's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm hoping to just have it a channel for everybody to upload random stuff. So, like, a good example is why it's a second channel. Obviously, the first channel would be primary stuff that you want to post, and then secondary stuff that wouldn't get posted, maybe like bloopers or something, for an example, could be posted onto the second channel. It's almost like a little Easter egg, too, because it's a second channel, and most people typically think second channels are first channels for some reason.
Yeah.
But what it hints at is our main channels, so that way it also promotes not only our main channels, but so that way just the channel itself also grows.
Yeah.
And I did mention Max's role in this. I'm not giving him the account whatsoever. He is going to be a part of it, but he's not going to be a part of like specific stuff like the show bloopers, for instance. He's not going to be a part of the show whatsoever.
Yeah.
I did talk to him a while ago, and I still have 50% rights to his OC, which is great because I finally got confident enough to make the upload I did today with my book. Originally, I did make those before, but it was all separate videos because I had a timer pretty much of how much I could record, but
Mm,
I was able to just stream the whole entire book. and I'm going to be streaming the second book too. The main reason why I bring up the book is because Max is in the book. He's like he has a character who's in it, and it's just his OC Max. And in the
Mm.
book, I kind of made him look like a badass, so I was embarrassed for the book after all these allegations come out because I did actually make him look like a badass in some of the writing. And
Well,
I'm pretty disappointed about it now because of the allegation. It's still good writing at the end of the day, and that's why I got the
I mean,
rights for it. So
it
that
was
way I could feel
before the
less shitty
allegations
about it.
too,
Yeah.
so
So I was able to make that upload. Pretty much the whole purpose of Max's role is it's almost like a background character slash side character in a TV show. He's just there so that way people can talk. And I noticed this from the start of when I invited him to this server specifically. Max is a pretty shitty person, but somehow inviting him to a server, the server just manages to come alive. This server was dead for a good 4 days, and then I just out of nowhere was like, oh, well, as a test, I'm going to invite Max. I didn't say specifically what that test was because, well, I'm telling you now that was the test. But I invited him, and he just made the server all lively a little bit.
yeah,
So that's pretty much his role, is to kind of make things lively. He's like that one annoying character in the background, pretty much.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, hello.
Mm. Hi,
Yes,
How's
welcome,
everything
Cory.
today? I'm currently cooking dinner, so my bad.
I just ate dinner.
You're fine.
It's Taco Wednesday tonight. Eh.
Now, the second reason, and I would say pretty much the main reason why I want the second channel to run, is I'm pretty bad on luck right now. My luck is very bad. I had my PC
Your luck
break
is
down, and then I had to
hunting.
run my channel through my Xbox, and it was going pretty good because I figured some things out with it. And then my Xbox broke down. Luckily, my brother let me use his PC while he's fixing mine. But my PC isn't a gaming PC, it's just a regular PC. So every time I record something, it's not gonna go fully well, which is why I was able to just stick with PT for a little bit. And I've been experimenting with what's it called? VTube
Yeah,
models.
I seen that.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's a little bit laggy, but it works. Um, but for right now, I'm trying to figure out if it's cheaper to just get a graphics card for my PC or just straight up fix my Xbox. Because either way, it still worked when I was using my Xbox. I just need to use the PC to download those videos and actually edit them. Because that's the one thing I've been lacking on lately because of other IRL stuff, so I just post them.
Yeah,
So the second
understandable.
reason is making the channel is pretty much so that way there's extra posters to the channel, but they can still get credit, which is why it's not my main channel in particular. It's just a second channel.
Yeah,
And I
Sorry, I'm just
plan to do edits for the second channel so that way it still promotes every channel that is owned.
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
3/4. Okay.
And that reminds me too, for the show stuff. That was
Oh,
another reason why I uploaded the book stuff, because the book is pretty much important to the show. I know what I wanted for the Fallout New Equestria show, is that it's not exactly the book, it's pretty much in the future to the book.
Yeah.
And that's why I had to make a new upload so that way people had context of who Coco is before we make our next upload soon. And I'm pretty much just
Yeah.
waiting for Eris. I haven't heard from her for a few days.
Thank you.
Once I hear from her, I plan on recording our first episode together.
Yay.
Alright.
And I finally have somewhat of an idea of what that episode's going to look like, thanks to the actual Fallout show. So I had a concept.
Mm.
So the main character is going to be Coconut.
Or Coco.
Yeah, because although her future, like her current story takes place in the future pretty much, she's like 50 years old, but she's still 6 because of the cryopods. I'm taking it like way back to before she even met Diana in my books. So it's almost like a prequel sequel. It goes to like the first episode that we do together is just a prequel to her story, and then it skips all of the book stuff. So the viewers actually have to get the book to get more context of it, and then it goes to the present day of the future, or Fidel's time. That's pretty much how I put it because that's the Pinkberry stuff where Coco eventually meets Fidel Pinkberry. And originally, I did say it takes place 50 years later after the book, but
50?
yeah,
Did
it
you
just
say?
wouldn't make sense to me
I don't
because
know.
technically,
Or hold
well,
up.
actually, it would be around like 42, 43 years pretty much.
Hold up. Give me one
So,
sec. Give me one sec. Claro, la headshot.
you just changed your profile picture. Oh my goodness. Anyway, the first episode is
Anyway,
pretty much going to look like, and I probably, you guys saw my screenshots too in the Sonic server. I was hinting at it, um, where I made new character models for previous characters. I looked at
yeah.
them and I figured, hey, these characters need to be a little bit edited, and that is the
Yeah, they need
Cobra
to be a bit
sisters.
remastered.
See,
Sonic reasons.
I figured if I'm adding Coconut to the main story, then I have to add lore to her siblings because she has siblings. And that's where Maya Cobra, Brooklyn Cobra, and Pumpkin Cobra come into place. And that's why episode 1 primarily exists too, is to explain that there are sisters, specifically one who is Maya, who ends up going out of the stable eventually, pretty much going on a killing spree looking for her sister.
Yeah.
And if you want to know where I got inspired from that, that's pretty much like Rick and Morty, where Rick kills like every other Rick to find his killer or something. That's pretty much what Maya's doing. She's just going around with a picture of Coco and asking people if she knows this person. But these people are so hostile. Sorry, ponies. They're so hostile that they end up just shooting. So she
God
just
damn.
kills them.
Totally not to clown or anything. uh,
Yeah, there's gonna be stuff to that too. There's gonna be a little bit lore for the clown stuff because I did say it is connected to Demi Doped. There's
mm,
a reason why Maya exists in the Fallout Equestria universe. Because I did write in the lore that she's technically not supposed to exist in any timeline. She just forced herself into reality. what
Oh,
ends up
damn.
happening is a beacon gets lit off in Diana, the dummy dopehead world, pretty much after Diana dies in the first season. So when Diana dies, that beacon is lit, and that's when the Fallout New Equestria timeline starts up. And that's also why Diana is a clone. That ends up getting talked about in the second book, so that's a little bit of a spoiler since I didn't mention that. But she's pretty much a clone because she just got duplicated after she died in her actual world. And
Yeah.
that's why she doesn't remember anything about her past. It's all fake memories.
Mm.
But yeah, the first episode that we do together is pretty much just Coco's escape and how the sisters react to their youngest sister, who is 6 years old, leaving the stable. And of course, the first pony she encounters after the stable, which aren't going to be cruel because why do that in the first episode? Yeah, the second episode has to be very, very bloody. In story, I mean. Once I get better at editing, then maybe blood.
Oh, there's definitely gonna be blood when Dark Shrimp. Oh yeah, I'm sorry if I butcher your username, but K K Carrie that
Kira.
how do you pronounce it? Kara?
Yeah.
Okay. In case you don't know, I have this entity that pony thing as my main OC. And yeah, they're gonna be in the show. So we'll be ready for some chaos.
Fair.
Yes. I also have lore for what's going to be happening in the stable. If you guys don't know, or the Fallout Equestria lore, pretty much, or I should just say
Mhm.
Fallout lore in general, because that's where it takes inspiration from, obviously.
I obviously know because you showed me the games, but I'm gonna let you explain anyways because I
The
don't remember.
happenings in the stables slash vaults are experiments that like get hidden from the public until after the bombs go off. So after the bombs go off, everyone runs into a stable slash vault, and then they end up getting experimented on. So pretty much what's going to happen in that episode is that these experiments are going to become clear to Coco, and that's the motive of why she's running, pretty much. She's not just running for no reason, she actually runs for a reason. And it's because of these experiments. And what they do pretty much is they pretty much ghoulify children. That's their experiment. So the Fallout, the vaults slash stables experiment is that they collect like foals every 4 to 6 years, and they put them in a specific gas chamber where they test the effects of the FEV virus slash FEZ virus. So some of them get turned into zebras and then are immediately executed, and some are just turned into ghouls and of course executed.
Damn.
My second book also kind of explains the experiments of Volts. Another spoiler, but that it explains the forced evolution zebra virus, where Diana eventually gets injected by it, and the experiment of the stable is that there was pretty much a detonation rigged to their like gas line, their nuclear gas line, and they all exploded, and half of the vault like had to like run and evacuate to the other side of the vault and close it up. However, they still had to deal with the air conditioning and stuff like that. So eventually they got ghoulified, but not feral. So what ended up happening is that they became essentially see-through ponies. Like you could see their organs, you could see their skulls and stuff like that. And that's canon to the main actual book. They pretty much get that ghoulified to the point where they look like goo. And the other half of the vault was testing on the forced evolution zebra virus, but one of them, who was pretty much forced to live on the other half of the stable, ends up killing every last one of the zebras there and continuing on with the experiments of the forced evolution zebra virus, which eventually gets injected to Diana, who doesn't go feral, which was the experiment that they don't go feral. So that's one of the experiments. Pretty much the experiment, why that experiment is related to Coco's is like the ghouls, they get thrown into that same vault pretty much because the vault is connected through like a little tunnel, which I also got inspired from the Fallout show. They just have little tunnels that connect to each vault. Secret tunnels. But yeah, they pretty much just dump these ghouls back into the vault, and Goldie, who is the name of that ghoul who's a villain, just keeps killing them. Pretty much to also stay alive and feast off them because she has no food. But yeah, the first episode tries to take that concept of there's an experiment, there's a child who finds out it's an experiment. She has to run out into the Fallout world where everything's destroyed, nothing's civilized, and learn a lot of things as a 6-year old. That's the part that's funny too, because a 6-year old is pretty much the main character. It's not like a character who's a full on adult who's very serious or anything. It's a literal child. And that's also why I don't want Max a part of it because he likes to sexualize things. But yeah. There's going to definitely be a lot of bloopers too for recording the show. So that is another reason for the second channel. It's just so that way there's a place for those files. They don't just get thrown away for nothing. People can still view them.
Oh, sweet. People can watch me mess up my lines.
Also, I didn't know. I pretended like I knew, but it was Max's birthday. Initially, I made like a birthday post like at the beginning of the day. That was because it's Jokester's birthday.
Yeah.
um, I actually got a little bit confused. I was like, "What do you mean it's your birthday?" It's like because it's Jokester's birthday. I made Jokester November 13th, 2020. Um, yeah, 2020. I almost said 2021. It was 2020. But that's why the Jokester month exists in November. I'm surprised that Jokester was made the same day Max was born. Well,
Oh
not the
Lord.
same day, just his birthday. But yeah, I'll have this second channel thing set up here soon. I did set it up before, but I want to get everything rebranded a little bit and make sure that I get everybody involved who I want to be involved first. That way it's not just thrown out there, of course. So
Yeah.
make sure everybody who I want is involved with this project. And then I will be giving the passwords to these people because specifically who is also going to be joining are people who I extremely trust. People who aren't like Max, of course. So with that, I'm giving these people the trust of half privacy almost because it's mainly for YouTube. The Gmail stuff, I sometimes just randomly use this email for like other stuff whenever I have trouble remembering a password or something, I just create a new account or something. So the only like thing I would say is avoid Gmail because sometimes when I do try to get these logins or remember them, it's just like, hey, verify it on Gmail. So that's just something to look out for. Like it'll tell you verify like location and verify this or something. You don't have to like hit verify or anything, obviously. That'll be my job. Cory pretty much knows because she has my main account too. And it's similar to the process of when we took Max's account. It'll ask for a verification on Gmail pretty much. That's the point I'm getting at.
Mhm.
It'll ask that a lot. Point is I'll take care of all of that. The YouTube stuff is just for whatever anybody wants to upload and shit like that. It could be anything really. That's pretty much the whole purpose of the channel. It could be anything by anybody, and it's for anybody.
I guess what my question is if you want an intro and an outro made.
Um, I'll go with yes,
And
but I wouldn't make one immediately,
yeah, no, I was
just
just
in case, obviously.
yeah.
We're gonna still wait, obviously, for a few more people first, and then we can get that figured out. But an intro and an outro would be groovy.
Yeah.
Groovy. I can't believe I just used that word.
Could have been worse.
That's how you know that I just got a little bit high. It's groovy, man.
Well, I'll stop the recording right now.